and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Eric Clark.
Love you, brother.
I love you, man.
Is this thing on?
Yep.
Hello, Boston. I'm clicking. I'm clicking. What we got? Roosevelt, 2010 or 1910, famous for this speech, "The Man in the Arena." We all know it. We know clips about it. I can relate to that man in the arena. I can relate to being knocked down. Over my desk for the last 20 years has been an image of Sylvester Stallone knocking out Apollo Creed in Rocky II. It's in black and white. And everybody thinks as that as the punch where Rocky finally wins. That's what everybody thinks about. It is not why it's over my desk. How many in here today are looking at eXp and you're not with eXp? I want to know who you are. Anybody in this room? All right, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to that group. I can identify with being knocked down. Life has, for some reason, the Lord chose to allow my life to have a story that's not one that I've wanted. And I've been knocked down. But the value is in getting up. And sometimes you get up because you know who you are, and you know your value system, and you know what you're worth. So, I'm not sure, I didn't set this up, it's not clicking through properly. But my worth when I was knocked down was never in question. Your worth should not be in question. Your worth shouldn't be tied to what people in your life are telling you you can't do. Your life is more valuable than that. I want you to turn and look at the person beside you, say your name of who you are, and say, I know my value. Do it now. Say your name, look at the person beside you and say, I know my value. I've been knocked down on a few times, and when I was knocked down, I never questioned my value. And in 2017, a little bit about me, for about 30 years I had a private defense contracting company. I did contracts in over 70 countries and I traveled to 34. And in 2017, I was in Afghanistan waiting to get on the base and we had a problem. We're standing outside the vehicle and we're being sniped in from the towers and we're being sniped in behind us and my hands are in my pocket and I'm standing as cool as a cucumber. And I'm standing there and I'm thinking, Clark, why the heck are you chasing these types of contracts so hard? Look at the harm's way you're in right now. And I was thinking about my family, and I was thinking about my kids, and I was thinking, why am I doing this? And I needed a reset. I needed a reset. How many here has had a reset in your life? You had a reset?
Yeah.
Had a reset. So I was looking for a platform. And I needed a reset that was as strong and as forward-thinking as I was. That's what I was looking for. And as I shared with you, I always knew my value. I knew that God had a purpose for my life, bigger than the trials, bigger than the storms you would go through, but He has a purpose in your life. He has a purpose for every person's life. It's very important, if you really truly know your value, who do you spend time with? People in your life should be pulling you forward and lifting you higher. If they're pulling you down or pulling you back, you need to step away from them. Sometimes you'll go through adversities in your life and people that have been with you your whole life are not with you during the adversity. They don't walk with you through it. I had to forgive a lot of people because they didn't walk with me through some storms. But then I realized something over time. They just weren't able to. They weren't able to walk with me through the valley of the shadow of death. They weren't able to walk with me when it was difficult. But there were others who were. I've been so blessed in my life. What the heck? It's jumping on me. How do I go back? This is so important. All right, so what I did when I was in this situation, I asked myself some questions. Am I in the right vehicle to take me where I want to go? Am I working with the system that rewards my entrepreneur vision? I knew I could build. I've built before. I've done contracts in 70 countries. I'm deaf. I can't hear. If I ignore you, it's because I can't hear you. I wear a cochlear implant, but you know what? I may not be able to hear, but I'm a good listener, and there is a difference. In our business, we have to listen to people. So I knew that my entrepreneur vision could be matched with the right platform. I was looking for the right platform. And I began to align myself and my energy, my passions. I was saying, where's the right platform that I can align myself with? I was seeking that. And knowing your value and who you associate with is so important. I've been so blessed to have some amazing people in my life. This gentleman, I've known him for about 30 years. And he's been like a professional mentor to me. He's 10 years my senior. Years ago, he started to speak some truth to me about how I could become better at what I do. Because as I began to get into commercial real estate, and I'm a commercial real estate in Atlanta, Georgia. And by the way, my name is Eric Clark. I didn't even introduce myself to you because this clicker has me a little off. The really cool thing about me, I'm direct descendants of Lewis and Clark. Meriwether Lewis and William Clark. And so I tell people finding good dirt's in my DNA. Bill knew my story, knows it really well. And he says to me, Eric, if you want to be the best among the best, you need to go get your Certified Commercial Investment Member, your CCIM. I said, what is that? He said, less than 7% of the brokers, commercial brokers in the country have their CCIM. If you want to be the best, you've got to do that. Life's experiences teaches you, if you're a student of life, you have to constantly be reinvesting in yourself. If you know your value, you know you have to reinvest in yourself. You have to be a student of learning. So I took Bill's advice. And I went and I got my certified CCIM, my PIN, because years earlier I was told in a board meeting in 2013, Eric, you're so good at selling, but you suck at putting it to paper. A board member said that to me when I was losing a business that I had bought from my dad, a franchise business, a legacy company business, been in the community for 50 years. And it was a tough situation. It was a situation that none of us asked for. It was a situation that the outliers came and we had to deal with it. And I was selling, but I wasn't putting it to paper well enough. And this colleague, not a friend, spoke truth to me, and it really resonated. He said, you got to do a better job of putting it to paper. So when I decided to go into commercial real estate about 4 or 5 years ago, I said, all right, I got to be among the best. Bill spoke words of truth to me. He said, you need to get your Certified Commercial Investment Member so you can be the best, so you can inform. Because I didn't want to sell people, Dick. I wanted to inform them. Because I have investors who are calling upon me, and if I sell them and the deal doesn't stick, they're not going to like working with Eric Clark. But if I inform them and I advise them, they're going to want to make the right decision. So I needed a platform that could match that kind of thinking. I didn't want to sell people. I knew I could sell, but I wanted to inform and advise, because who I'm going to be working with. So I go to get my Certified Commercial Investment Member so I don't sell anymore. So I don't really share all my passion. So I don't share my vision, because I want to do about the numbers. So I go to Seattle. And after I get my pen, about 30 seconds after I get my pen, I meet this guy. Stand up, Keith.
Yeah!
The Keith Andrews from Birmingham, Alabama. And he says, congratulations, Eric. He's on one of the boards of CCIM. He says, congratulations, Eric. Who are you? What are you going to do? I said, my name's Eric Clark. I'm going to start my own firm. It's going to be called Lewis & Clark CRE Group. I'm going to grow it from the Carolinas down to Florida. I'm going to have 10, 15 people, and that's what I'm going to do. I said, what do you do? He said, I work for a company called eXp Commercial. I said, never heard of them. I said, tell me about eXp Commercial. And he did. He told me about the cap, Sean. 80-20. And by the way, he said to me, Sean, if you exceed 100,000, then you're 100%. Well, I had just left $750,000 on the table 2 years earlier. That resonated with me. Oh, and if you do more than $500,000 GCI in a year, they're going to give you $20,000 back in stock. Well, I mean, Al Gore could even figure that out. That pencils out, right? Right? Oh, I can do that. And it caught my attention. And you know why it caught my attention? Because I saw this platform. I said, this is risk adverse. There's no risk here. I've been bitten. Oh, this is a double clicker. I heard the story and I was all in. I said, I'm all in. I want to be with that platform. I was looking for a platform that matched my vision, my entrepreneur spirit, my skill sets, but I didn't want to be with anybody or an organization that was going to bite me again. I couldn't afford it. I was having a reset. So my why, I needed to connect to a platform that I could grow, and it would match my vision, my passion, and my mission. I met Keith. And I heard about eXp commercial. And it has allowed me to build an organization based upon the numbers. Because the cap, the stock, the icon status, and oh, by the way, we can do business in all 50 states. And oh, by the way, we can do business in 28 countries. My time's up. Oh my gosh, the slides don't work. So I was all in. And it was a turning point. And I was rising up. So starting over, it's about finding the right platform. And I know I'm short on time, but I'll say this to you. It is all about the platform. You don't have to go out there, if you're building, you don't have to go out there and eXp all over everybody. Get to know people. Talk to them. Find out what their reasons are. Find out what their whys are. Listen to them. And then begin to bring added value to you. Here's what I see all the time. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what's difficult. Tell me what your challenges are. And let me see if I can bring added value to that. That's a good conversation. And if you do that, you don't have to tell them about eXp. They'll say, hey, where do I sign up? How do I get involved? And so that's what I've been doing. Love this company. I want to say to you, know your value. Be in the room with the right people. I mean, talk about being in the room with the right people. Tom Trung, Marissa, you two are beautiful people. I did everything I could to get here. I got here at 3:30 this morning. But I was coming because of this guy right here. And this guy right here. Now I'm coming because this guy right here. And this guy right here. And now I've got a new friend. You want to be in a platform that rewards you. And by the way, this platform, guess what? It's willable. And if you know your value, you'll realize that better never settles. So I'll end with that. I love this platform. Love being here. I'm Eric Clark. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I want to talk about commercial real estate. I'm your man. You want to be encouraged? Talk to the leaders in this room. If you're looking at eXp, quit looking. Be in the moment. Make an epic decision in the moment, not tomorrow. Make the decision. Champions make decisions in the second. This is the second. There's no other platform. Here's where your value is. Thank you.